Hello everyone, and welcome to another How to Do. Now, if you've recently seen my Hive Dalek, which I've done as my latest live from the workshop, you'll have noticed that I've managed to mount a classic Dalek onto a new series base, and that is what I'm going to take you through in today's video. Now, obviously there are several different new series bases, and with the newer sound effects Daleks, obviously the Daleks themselves had a bit of an overhaul and the bases were trimmed down. Obviously on the original versions, the original release versions, such as the big Daleks, as I call them, because they were much fatter in design, you had a much larger base. Now this is the base that I'm going to be using for this demonstration. This is one of my Witches Familiar Daleks. The live from the workshop may already be up when you're watching this, but it maybe not. If not, it's coming soon, don't worry. You will see some more of this later. However, the reason that I'm using this one as an example is because what you need to mount it into the classic base are these smaller bases. Now obviously these come on the Daleks, such as the older ones, most commonly and easily to get hold of is on the Emperor's Guard. Obviously these ones that are on the models have all the wheels, they need to be removed, but one thing I found from making a lot of Supreme Daleks, obviously on the big bumper base versions that you find, if I will just grab one of my customs, my Weetabix Dalek for example, these larger bases would have been easier actually to grab one of my movie Daleks, as they're right over there. But anyway, these big bases, these ones actually have one of these smaller bases embedded on the top. And if you've seen my How to Do on how to dismantle a saucer pilot Dalek, you will know that these can be removed. Now that's what these are. This is what this is without the wheels and everything they don't have on them, and it's a great way to get them spares if you have them. Now obviously you could just mount the Dalek onto the base like that, but as you can see he floats around, he's not really sitting in there, and even if you glued him in place he'd end up with gaps and things like that. That's where these bases come in handy, because they near enough fit into the base. So what you need to do first of all is to trim down the edges. This is a spare one, so I'm not ruining it. It's not the base that came with that. Don't worry. But you need to trim down the edges, just the very corners here. You literally just need to clip them off slightly and trim them down. Obviously, be very careful when you're doing this. If you're a younger viewer, get your parents out to help you. You may have to take 2 or 3 attempts to do this, depending on how well it comes off, but that should, in theory, fit fairly snugly into the base now. Obviously there's still a little gap at the back, but it's, again, not much of a problem. If you want, you can trim it down a little bit more, which I shall do for the sake of the video. This is the problem with being left-handed. Okay, there we go. So trim it down, and there you go. You can fit it flush back, not completely flush, but a little more, but it's still a little bit loose. Now what you have to do here is, unfortunately, the way I do it is you have to sacrifice some mobility. In doing so, what you have to do is remove the front wheel. Now, you don't have to leave the front wheel removed. You can glue it back into place, but it obviously means that you can't turn it. The reason that you have to do this is because what's happening is this screw is hitting that part of the base. Now, you could, if you wanted, chisel away the base and do things like that. That would work as well, or you can come up with some alternate pin solution to hold it in. But that is the reason why it doesn't sit flush. There's different ways you can adapt to this. As I said, probably one of the easier ways, if you wanted to keep it, would be to trim out this bit of the base, but I don't tend to do that because I don't really leave them for anything more than displays. So again, that fits in nicely, but again, still a little bit loose. because of these ones. Same reason again, that these unfortunately stick out too far, and so they stop the base from sitting flush against the bottom. Now once you've removed these, obviously this can come off, but they're usually quite, first of all, they're quite well stuck down. I can just lift that off myself, but not a lot. But also, once this is fixed in place, and there you go, you can see, it still floats around a little bit, but it fits in there nice and snugly, and it still enables the wheels to roll. And it also, once this is glued in place, if you want to glue it in place, which is what I do, it will hold the base plate for these wheels in place. So once that's done, obviously you just reattach your Dalek, and then obviously, as I said, he still floats around. I mean, that's, you know, if I bring it up to the camera, you can see he moves around a little bit, but compared to without the base, you know, he really doesn't move around that much at all. And it's just, it's an interesting way of getting a smaller bumper to fit inside, you know, to put a new series bumper on a larger Dalek. As I said, I did it for the Hive Dalek. And also, I'm just going to give you a small teaser here, because this did appear in The Witch's Familiar, and you're going to see it in my Live from the Workshop coming soon. But there's that strange fellow. Now, I'm not making this up. If you can find it in the episode, it is there, and I will be showing you in my Live from the Workshop exactly where in the episode it is, but this fellow, Classic Dalek, new series base, did appear. But anyway, that's for another video. But, so yes, I just wanted to take you through today this really simple Live from the Workshop. It's a great way of using up these smaller bases if you have them left over, and if you have any large series bases around. Obviously, you know, it does leave the little inaccuracy of the fact that it's got the sort of extra lip. If you wanted, you could trim down the top of the smaller base so it was level, and then fill in the gaps around it, or you could just indeed put that in and fill in the gaps around yourself. It's up to you. But you know, I discovered this kind of by accident in a way. I'm sure other people have made the discovery as well, but I just thought it was a great way to use these spare bases, as I have a lot of them. So I thought it would make a good how to do. So that was that. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, favourite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot, and I shall see you all with another video very soon.